Mm-hmm.
The morning, the mornings, like if you didn't necessarily grow up meditating, that kind of discipline is um, it's hard to do after you're an adult
Okay.
because it doesn't feel like you have the habit yet. And I thought about this a long time, like how do people benefit from mind training? Because meditation is mind training, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I've been playing with is um, the shortcut. So in Buddhism, there's like different kinds of meditation, and like it comes from the Vedas, comes from India, but there are different kinds of meditation that you can do. And there's a meditation that is done for times of need. Like this is times of need where people are kind of like their minds are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind that we're gonna do. Um, Other sorts of meditation where it's like formal meditation, like lotus posture, assumes that you have time to train your body and that you know Ayurveda and your body's in perfect health. You do have the option to learn that, but I will tell you what it consists of. And it is not necessary. Each kind of meditation has its own pros and cons,
Okay.
but just like there are different kinds of clothes, not all clothes you want to have fit your lifestyle, fit your expression. So there are different kinds of meditation that can fit different people's personalities. So formal meditation, just like in Ayurveda, you learned that Ayurveda can be the information is can be a lot for the short amount of time that we were trying to learn it in, and that's just the intro. Meditation without meditation can be also that deep. Can be, but we can also simplify it. In Ayurveda, the rishis, do you know what I mean by rishis?
I do not.
Okay, the rishis were the seers.
Okay.
So people who formally meditated, who formally, and you can formally cultivate or grow kindness, love, and compassion. So it was their job, lifetime after lifetime, to deepen their love and compassion and kindness. And through that love and compassion and kindness, they felt more like a mother
Mm-hmm.
whose child is suffering. They felt that way for all of humanity, or all sentient beings. And they had a conference, like we would come to Las Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
and they would have a convention for whatever interest people have. They have like anime conventions, sports car conventions. Well, these rishis came together and had a rishi convention, had a humanitarian convention
Mm-hmm.
on either Mount Kailash or in Rajagriha. It is documented in the Ayurvedic texts who attended.
Mm-hmm.
Like Buddha attended like in person. All these Mahasiddhas attended in person, came together and declared that Ayurveda was to have, when they were teaching Ayurveda, that it would have two purposes. One would be that Ayurveda would be taught simply, without the code being stripped out. So this was a task to teach Ayurveda in a way where everyone could understand. Can you imagine? Like, everyone can understand. It's called so the layperson can understand and the genius can expand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's the sort of meditation that we're going to do.
Okay.
Okay? So without sounding insulting, because I do not mean to insult anyone, but a child could do this. Like a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, a preschooler could do this. And as you grow, the understanding will deepen, and a 90-year-old can still get something out of it. You know, a wise woman can still get something out of it. That sort of formula, I think, is genius, because everyone can do it and you can go very far. So don't worry about a formal sitting practice in the morning. This meditation is so simple but so powerful, like Ayurveda, like how we learn about the different elements, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. You can use that to analyze anything. It's like a master key. Ayurveda is like a master key for the physical body. Now this meditation is like the master key for the mind. So the formula is everywhere on the internet. You can find the 8 limbs of yoga everywhere on the internet. The first limb is nonviolence. When you practice nonviolence, you will have an easier time being calm. The first person it benefits is you. And it changes you from your very core, committing to the practice of nonviolence. I say the practice of nonviolence because it's hardly ever perfect the first time around. Okay. So that is the first step. And like the basics are involved, like no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct. Those are the body basics. Or you can simplify it and just ask yourself over and over, is this harmful to myself or others? Then you just sort of decide as best you can to stop doing it. So I'm glad that you came to Ayurveda, because the very first rule in Ayurveda is to stop doing what's causing you to be sick. So mentally, what causes you to be sick are violences. Even the violences done by the body causes your mind to become sick. Like if someone can be so, so cruel. I was talking to my friends, and they found a dog somewhere close to them, they found a dog close to them, and then they researched whose dog it was, and the dog belonged to someone who had moved to another country and just abandoned the dog in the desert. Like, that's harmful. The physical action of doing that, like killing,
Right.
or at least harming, will stay with your mind, and the guilt will hurt your mind way beyond the actual act of doing the physical action. Okay? So I would consider, if you consider nonviolence, if you're considering nonviolence, that you are working on your mind. That's how simple it is.
Okay.
Okay, so it counts. All of it counts. Because I know people put a lot of pressure on meditating. Yeah? And it's not supposed to be like that. The reason it's like that, I think, is because people don't learn like the steps. We certainly don't talk about nonviolence very much, or at all. I think at all in our school systems.
Oh, and
I think not at
that's
all.
I don't think they talk about it at all either.
We yeah, well, yeah, in my school, like Japanese school I had to go to, we did a lot. So some schools, but not public school. I have not seen it. In Hawaii, we do. In Hawaii, we talk about like karma in the Hawaiian sense. It's called kuleana. That means your actions will produce a result, and those results will be yours.
Mhm.
So when people are going to do bad things in Hawaii, our friends or whatever, we don't force them to stop. We just say that's your kuleana. Like you're gonna pay for that.
Right.
I mean, I prefer not to see you suffer, but that's your karma, basically. So in Hawaii we call it kuleana. But I haven't seen that in California, at least. At least I know the school systems in California, and I haven't seen that. So that's step one. In yeah, in a lot of countries, they not that Hawaii's another country, but kind of they don't follow the rules of the contiguous states, like the 48 states.
Hmm.
They're sort of like Puerto Rico, like they follow their own traditions. You know, Fourth of July, we don't blow fireworks off at Fourth of July.
Okay.
Never have since I was a kid. So for us, it's like it's New Year's that we blow off fireworks.
Hmm.
But anyway, in a lot of in most other countries, I think they do have some sort of like teaching of nonviolence. Okay. Next. So if you're not supposed to kill, steal, no sexual misconduct, no lying, right, from the mouth. The mouth has four violences: lying, um, divisive speech, Nigel, what's next? Is which one in the order? Lying,
A line, no harsh word.
harsh words is next. Okay,
Oh,
no lying.
okay.
Yeah, because for years
Line,
we
no
were.
divisive speech. Divisive speech is next, yeah.
But yeah, okay, no lying, no divisive speech. Um,
Then no harsh words.
yeah, I know. Hold on, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. The lying, no divisive speech. So divisive speech is where I think it happens. It's happening. It always happens, but it's happening a lot more now. Where we speak in a way where our intention isn't to unite. Even if we think it's for someone's good, our intention is to divide. It's like I see a lot of posts where people are warning each other about like they want us to fight each other. When we fight each other, then we're weak. So that's the power of divisive speech. That's the destructive power of divisive speech. Oh, stop. Good morning, Bagel. That's the power of divisive speech. So no lie, no harsh words, no divisive speech, and no flattery. Flattery is like can also be idle gossip. Like if you're telling someone they look good because you want to build up their self-esteem, that's not idle gossip. That's not flattery. But flattery is like for absolutely nothing. So there's no bad intention. It's wasting someone's time. So the harm in that wasting someone's time is that there's an opportunity lost for that person and yourself. It's not like you're actively doing something bad. You're just missing the opportunity to do something good. Okay? So in your mind, that turns into something like binge watching. Like that opportunity lost. That's the feeling that you get when you're binge watching something and you're like, it's not comfortable. It's not pleasant anymore. It's like the show has you hostage and you want to move, but you're mentally stuck. You know? You gotta see the last episode. Right? Mentally stuck. This is idle gossip. It's one of we call it the violences because it brings bad results. That's all. So it's an opportunity lost. Then those are the things that you can do with your voice when you go over and you talk and then it turns into the mind. You talk like about nothing for a long time with someone else and they gotta go. Then the mind, these violences, we call them like harms, are coveting, which I think people understand. To want something that is not yours will drive you nuts. No malicious intent. Like, even I hope that person gets punished. If the intention is not to prevent harm, but it's due to hate or vengeance or taking something personally or projecting your anger, then it's malicious. It's bad. Then incorrect wisdom is basically being illogical, basically ignoring facts because it hurts your pride. It hurts what the system of belief that you put around yourself that even when proven wrong, you don't want to look like foolish, so you defend something wrong based on pride or based on whatever. And basically not being open-minded. So that's incorrect wisdom. It doesn't bring wisdom to be stuck in a label or a bias or a preconceived idea. We call it prejudging or prejudice, like judging before you see what's going on. That's incorrect wisdom, and it traps the mind. So one way I defend against the things that hurt the mind is to reframe my point of view into it's always a working hypothesis. That means it's open for people to bring in facts, and I will change my mind. When you change your mind, this is the value of meditation. When you realign your mind with when you align your mind with reality without getting stuck, then this is the benefit of meditation. A benefit of meditation. So knowing why you meditate is important before you start. Or else one may just use it as Yeah, I don't know. I just, I don't know. I think people use meditation because they're in pain, or they want to, recently they want to manifest something. I don't find that they're very clear on why they want to meditate. Sometimes they use it to escape. This is not the proper intention. If you use meditation to escape, you will form a bad habit of escaping. The foundation of meditation is not usually properly set in the US. Let me just share with you so that you can adopt, maybe if you like it. When we meditate in front of our ancestors' ashes or whatever, their picture, we ask them to make us good people. So the purpose of meditation is to become a more loving, compassionate individual. Kind and equanimous. This part is like, usually we leave it out because it's not a simple concept. So kindness first, then love, then compassion, then you spread that to all. Is the purpose of meditation. And you will find that it will grant your every desire for you. You will find it's so genius that it covers everything one would ever want. So cool that the rishis got together and framed it like this. Intelligence, the right teaching, and the people who keep you on track, like the little community that we build, is called the wish-fulfilling jewels, or it develops something called bodhicitta. So the intelligent mind. The intelligent, wise mind full of love and compassion is called bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is called the wish-fulfilling jewel, like Aladdin and its lamp. Like you wish for anything with bodhicitta, with kindness, love, compassion, and equanimity, you will find a solution that isn't flawed. Many solutions are flawed, right? Many people on the internet have solutions, but it's flawed. We can debate it, and we will have to come to the conclusion that it's flawed, is basically what's going to happen. But bodhicitta is not to be taken at point blank as not flawed. You, through meditation, another purpose of meditation is to explore, is to question, is to analyze, and is to prove it to yourself. Okay? Prove these things to yourself. In the Vedas, they never say, just believe it. They always say, if you can find these words to be wrong, then change your mind. If you prove anything, if there are any errors and you prove it, then they leave room for being wrong. This is a healthy mind. And this is what we're doing. I'm going to pause right here and see if you have any questions, or if I lost you along the way anywhere.
I don't have any questions at this time.
Okay, how's it sounding?
Oh, it sounds good. I mean,
You follow?
yes.
Right on. Okay. Okay, so the purpose of meditation is repeated through childhood, right? So what I'm gonna do is for our group here, um, is there's absolutely no judgment, no shame at all in it. But I've been teaching meditation for a long time to um, in the South Bay in California and Los Angeles. No problem. But I think I figured out. I think I figured out how to do it, like in this in well our I live in LA sometimes too. Our personal neck of the woods. You know? Like most people weren't exposed and weren't brought up like that. For instance, like these principles are repeated in some homes in the morning, first thing by the mother or the father, and then in front of like a shrine of your ancestors. So that's not our culture here. All right, so that's kind of like the warm up to meditation, is to try to remember why we do it. Then you kind of exercise, okay? Like I don't know if in all of Asia, but at least I know in Japan, the Japanese companies, before they go to work, the entire company comes together. By the way, everyone shows up on time, period. Even the trains are on time. And they all do calisthenics together. They start to act like a team. Okay? So if you want, at this time you can stretch. But they clean something first. Right? So after you remember or you wish to be a good person by stopping violences, stopping the violences, then you clean. Then you study. Okay? So you can never go wrong if you're practicing meditation. It will contribute to your meditation if you straighten something out. Or you study what you're doing now. Constant study, constant cleaning. And being content with what you have. You know, if you have enough. And in the monk culture, enough for them is 2 robes and a begging bowl. And they would live like this. Oh, sandals maybe, if they have enough money. But 2 robes, clothes, and a begging bowl. And they would beg for food once a day, but no more than once a day. And they had to finish eating by noon, or they have to wait till the next day. So contentment is something that we may have to learn as wealthy Americans. We're all pretty much wealthy Americans. And at least if you're in California, you know, you get EBT if you can't eat. You know, monks would go. I'd rather be a Californian than a monk, because you know, you go out and you hope somebody puts something in you hope you eat that day. But if not, then not. And contentment, that will bring you a lot of contentment, because you are no longer thinking about what to eat that day. There's food in your bowl, so you just eat. And then you're grateful for it. And that's it. That's all they have. Like that kind of contentment. I'm not saying that we have to do that. It doesn't fit here. But if you remember how happy these monks are, then it makes at least me reflect on how much stuff I have and that all this extra stuff doesn't bring happiness. It's good for your mind, which is what we're talking about here, meditation, the purpose of meditation, what it brings. Because I think many people meditate based on not knowing the foundation, then they lose interest because they started prematurely, just trying to sit and calm down when their mental habits are so disruptive that it's difficult. So now if I tell you just tidy someplace up in your home, that puts you on the path to meditation. It's easier. And it's also true. Right? So you have non-violence, you have what to do instead, which is to clean, be content, and constantly study. Then you have movement. Movement is part of meditation. It's all building up to being able to sit properly. One does not start just by sitting. One starts by moving. Okay? In the concept of yin and yang, you see like the black and the white. The white color represents the sun, and the black color represents the moon, or the night, the day and the night. The night is meant to be still. The day is meant to move. So for our culture, we move a lot, right? But we don't do proper movement. We also sit a lot. What I'm saying is our balance is off. Our mind moves a lot, but our body stays still. We not move a lot. We remain awake a lot through our screen culture. Looking at screens all the time, watching shows all the time. So we're awake past sundown. I would imagine most people in the Western world who have like light switches are awake past sundown. So we have this problem, and this may be a clickable moment. We have this problem of our mind moving, but our body being still. So then we sit for meditation, but our body complains because our blood isn't moving and our chi isn't moving. But we so desperately need to calm our mind down that you learn like a traditional meditation style where they make you like sit still, and you can't because the body hasn't moved yet. Yin and yang isn't balanced. So what do? Calm the mind first or move the body first? The instructions are clear. You move the body first. I think this simple order of meditation people don't know. So you do something like Nigel's class where he does the stretching. You do proper exercise. You don't go and do what Americans, I guess, or the Western world will make this common mistake, which is to go extreme. If I could label the era of the Western world, it would be extremes. Because they can, because we're rich. Okay. So don't extremely exercise. Listen to the body. We have another problem of beating ourselves up mentally. Oh, I didn't do this. Oh, I didn't do that. That has to stop too. all the violences I talked about in the beginning must apply to yourself first. This is the trick for the Western world. It really is a necessary step to practice, to recognize when you're beating yourself up and to stop. How do you stop beating yourself up? Practice nonviolence. When your intention is good and pure, there will be nothing to necessarily disturb your mind. Then sitting will be easy. So then we need to move the body, get the blood flowing. Because as much as possible, I would highly, highly recommend when you meditate that your spine is up and down and not laying down. Sometimes you see Buddha like this, meditating. He's not meditating, he's dead. Okay? This is how he died, in that position. Maha Samadhi means that death, means you're dead. The great liberation. That's not what we're doing. If you cannot sit up straight, then you have to use Ayurveda to prepare the body for meditation. So I now gave you the next step, which is to prepare your mind for meditation through nonviolence and through study and through cleaning. You notice a lot of Eastern cultures, like super clean, like almost OCD. Like you think like, what's wrong with you? Why do you have to clean so much? Because they have the tradition of meditation. And if you do it right, it lasts for like your whole bloodline is like blessed. They will know how to get through life fairly easily. They may complain, of course they will complain even. Yeah. Even if they get 98 on their test, they'll still complain it's not 100. You know, forget it. But that's the kind of complaints you're gonna get, which is a good day, I would say. There'll be no struggles. But you see, every generation, you still have to teach them how to be grateful for it. And it's hard to keep that up. It's really hard to keep that up. I had to fight for my sanity. Didn't realize like how privileged we are in America. Even if like we were from like the poor state, like Hawaii, California, and New York are so expensive. Like the 3 most expensive places to live in the US. And it's rough. So we feel poor because it's so expensive. But we have social services, which makes life easier. That people don't have all around, not necessarily all around the world, not necessarily. So anyway, to recap, first step, nonviolence. Second step, cleanliness and contentment and study. Third step, move the body. Fourth step, train the breath. Usually when you're in the yoga class, they have you move the body with the breath. Those 2 things can go together. Breath training and body training and mind training all go together in like something like Tai Chi or martial arts. We clean the floor first well, first we repeat in our minds, like no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no lying. We repeat that over and over and over to like train ourselves. And then we clean the floors. All the kids get a rag and they like push it across the floor. In where I grew up, we clean first the mat that we're going to practice on to respect the space, and then we move our body with our breath, and then we sit and meditate in that order. While we sit for a bit without doing anything, and we pay attention to our sense organs. And we practice not being bothered by anything. Anything that we see is okay to come in and out of our sense organs. Anything that we hear is fine, no matter what we hear. You know, excluding emergencies. But we trust that our teacher is going to bring us out of meditation if there's an emergency. We trust that whatever we smell is okay. So we don't get locked in on that hypochondriac thing where, oh my gosh, we don't start thinking, oh my gosh, there's so much pollution in the air. My food is covered with pesticides. That music, those words are not what I want to hear. The aversion to what's going in and out of our sense organs is neutralized. So our mind becomes strong because you can be unbothered. That's why sometimes I have people take a break from watching the news for their mental health. I think in a lot of ways, in Hawaii, when I was a child, we would not get the TV shows till I think like a month later. They probably had to like ship over the reels or whatever. But we didn't get the shows till way later. And so news did not travel fast. Well, by the time we got it, it was like a month later. Imagine understanding that there was a fire in California in February. So we were kind of shielded from the shock of it happening right now, and that feeling of not being able to do something, and we're living through it right now. You can get the same effect by just unplugging from the news for a little bit. You know, when I was in school, I didn't see a lot of TV, including the news. I had no idea like even Obamacare was coming, when it was coming. I learned from school because I was in med school. And they said, oh, it's going to affect you. And nobody knew because we were all too busy studying. And I can tell you the important news will get to you. And I think mentally I was healthier when I didn't know what was going on. And it didn't stop me from being compassionate or helping people who needed help. I really don't need the trauma.
That's true. I just found out actually, I think last night about the floods and everything in Texas because I don't watch the news every day, and I was tuned out for several days. And so it did affect me differently because it was after the fact. It wasn't in the moment. You know? So, oh my God, oh no, what's going on? Oh my goodness, they gotta save them. Oh, please, you know. It was like I felt compassion that, oh my God, this has happened. But I didn't react the same way. You're right.
Yeah. So, moving slow is not a bad thing. And I will tell you something about moving slow, and this may be also a applicable moment. But when we go slow and approach zero, when we approach what we call stillness in the Tao or in Zen, in meditation, when you approach zero, there is no distortion. It is reality as it is. It is pure potential. It is not nothing. It is complete knowing. When you are absent from the violences, including any vibrations that are habits that lead to violences, when you purify all the way back to your intention, you can sit very still and knowing comes. Contemplative meditation is based on this kind of approaching stillness. Knowing is not active. Knowing is just reality as it is. Without they say that the dirt covering the eyes, without the biases, without you thinking you're right, just keeping an open mind and trying just to see reality as it is. This freedom we call moksha or nirvana or freedom from samsara or the cycle of suffering. The cycle of suffering is created by ignorance. So on your path, intelligence is on your path, but then also love, kindness, and wisdom is on your path. Those two things together will bring you to a place where you can be amazingly still. Sometimes we call this peace. But peace is not all that there is. Peace with peacefulness as a prerequisite to contemplation is the point of it. Peacefulness comes before you do a second kind of meditation called contemplation, where you contemplate what is the right things to do, what is love, what is compassion, what is it? What are my thoughts? What are my biases? Is this correct? And you can cut into your own cage, I guess. You can break through your own self-induced boundaries. Being able to do that over and over and over in a variety of situations will produce an intelligent being we call a Buddha. Buddha is not a person. Buddha is everyone's potential. It will make you amazingly, we'll just call it clairvoyant, omnipotent. You will know everything. This is what the rishis were. They came together. This is what they practiced. And they had a convention. I wish I was at that convention, But for not themselves, they're not sitting in a boardroom thinking how we can make the most money. They were they have and still have, because they're still around, a true wish for everyone to be happy because it is possible. For everyone to be free of suffering because it is possible. Why not go for it? You have, sometimes in goal setting, we sit down and say, if I had all the money and all the time in the whole world, what would I be doing? Have you heard this question before in goal setting classes?
Yeah.
So the rishis did the same thing. Through logicking out the power of kindness, love, compassion, and equanimity. Saying that this can be used, we all set ourselves free. Why can't everyone else do it? And so they put all their minds together and said, of course they can. And then they wrote down, this is how to do it. In one of the books that I guide people on, the Lam Rim Chemo, by Lama Tsongkhapa, he was from a rishi line. They gave step by step, and this is what I'm basing my class on, is the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, the 8 limbs of yoga, and Lamrim Chemo. I didn't make any of this up. I'm just kind of trying to make it relatable to our personal situation that we are facing right now. That's how traditions are passed on, through studying and then through relationship. Okay? So it is im- important that somehow someone tells you, or you logic it out yourself, that you realize that everyone can do it. No one needs to suffer. But everyone must do their own work.
Hmm.
Yeah, they could not figure out how to, like, there's no external solution to internal problems. But there is Ayurveda, which will calm down your body so that you can progress on the stages of meditation through lifetimes, if need be, so that when you come back, it's a choice, and your habits are so good that you barely suffer, if at all. It's kind of fun, I guess. You're happy. You still have compassion, but it doesn't hurt you. So mentally free is where it's at. Okay. So if you would, we'll begin the. We'll take some breaths. We'll start with we did the study. And if you haven't moved today, then you can fidget now. You can like stretch. Find a comfortable seated position. Sometimes in my classes I'd have them like rock and just see where they land. Where you land when you sit up. You can roll your neck, you can move your eyes, you can shake out your hands. You can do a body scan. You can just sit here and scan from top to bottom if you're trying to calm down. But if you're too sleepy, I would recommend you scan from bottom to top to wake yourself up. Throughout meditation, there's going to be this getting to know your energies and getting to know whether you're too dull, which means too lethargic, or you're too wound up, and what to do about it. So anytime you think about your body from top down, you're calming down. Anytime you think of your body from bottom up, you'll wake up. In fact, in acupuncture, sometimes when people are like they're dying, and it looks like they've died, we will put moxa, or this like herb, and we'll burn it at the toe or the bottom of the foot, and it will bring the life back up, and they'll wake up from looking like they're dead. They're not all the way dead yet, but even, for practical purposes. If someone has like a terrible accident, they'll wake up from the bottom up. So we never touch the head. We never try to push the energy down in those low energetic states, like close to death. So you'll find in some cultures they don't touch the head. Okay, but if your energy is too far up, you can tap your head and it feels good. Or you do inverted postures from yoga asana, headstands and such. You have too much energy going up. Like what causes the energy to go up? Things like anger. Right? It makes the face red. So inverted postures can help with that state. Right. So even in agape, when if they ask you to meditate, then you can apply. It doesn't violate any like rules. You can
Okay.
apply everything that you've learned. If they have you meditate, then you can go through your mind like you wish other people well. That's the shortcut to nonviolence, wishing everyone to be happy. And then you know that you're studying, or you before you go in, you wash yourself with
Hmm.
water, or you have a spray can, some water, just spritz,
Okay.
clean something as a ritual, clean something,
Okay.
and then you like get comfortable. It's okay, and it's okay to fidget. It's okay to get your body comfortable. Whatever you learn, maybe are you in Nigel's class?
No, I need to get in that with the stretching.
Yeah,
Hmm.
with the tendon changing, it will change. It will change all of the connections of your muscles to your bones, all the attachments, and that's a very easy way to stay flexible and strong,
Okay.
efficient, and will contribute to the whole picture of meditation. So you can fidget and then let go of tension in your body. So when you're done fidgeting, you start to let go of the tension in your body. You can still fidget, but it will be more subtle. It'll be like more like adjusting the little things, so that you can feel comfortable. So I want you to go ahead and adjust your little things now.
Okay.
Lift the head, drop the shoulders and the elbows, sink the chest around the back, loosen the waist, and the groin area, the gua. Relax the eyes, lips and teeth slightly parting or slightly touching, either way. When you relax your throat enough, the tip of the tongue will easily touch the roof of your mouth. When saliva builds in your mouth, you just swallow it. Place your hands face up on your lap. You can do a mudra if you like, touching the index finger and the thumb together. The other three fingers should be touching each other like this. Don't do like this. Have them touch each other, and the back of the hand should be touching your lap, either with your feet flat on the floor or your legs crossed, to provide a stable base. When you relax completely, you can fall over, so make sure you're stable. Let go of any tension in the body. Any feeling that you have, also let go. Any perceptions you have, let go. You may also find that this relaxes the body. Now place the mind on the breath as deliberately as you would place a rock on a leaf. Pay attention to any sensations of the breath. Maybe it's cool at the nostrils or on your upper lip. Maybe you can feel the air going down the throat or down the windpipe. when you have prepared properly for meditation, it will be very easy to sit still. Because you want to remain still throughout this practice so that the body doesn't disturb the mind. When the body moves, the mind moves. So if you have to move during meditation, please do so, and just take it as an indication to do the preparatory practices, to emphasize the preparatory practices in your life, not necessarily needing to sit still. You don't necessarily need to sit still. And also don't get discouraged now that you know that there's preparation. Now moving your mind like a little fish under the water, not being disturbed by the water. Just be aware that you're breathing. You moved from paying attention to the breath to a more expansive being aware of the breath. Gently, very gently, like a fish, moving under the water, not disturbing the water. Move your mind to being aware of your senses. Release the tension of the senses by being okay with whatever is reacting or whatever your senses are contacting. Whether it be sight, sound, a touch of air on your skin, smells, tastes, or the sixth sense organ, the mind, feelings, perceptions, emotions. Neutralize all the sensations. If a thought comes, let it go. There are 3 ways to let go of a thought. The first way is to imagine it like snowflakes approaching fire, where the snowflakes just sort of melt before it touches the fire. These are for subtle thoughts. Next is used for thoughts that are clear in your mind with less emotion. Think of these thoughts as sticks that are all together being bundled by rope. And imagine yourself cutting that rope and the sticks falling. And your thoughts as sticks falling. Then thirdly, especially for the emotional thoughts, imagine them as waves in the ocean. After the wave breaks, it returns back to the ocean. gently move your mind to just being aware. Get one step further from your sense organs and let it rest in awareness. Here again, if any thoughts come, release it in one of the three ways. Snowflakes approaching fire, cutting a rope, the sticks fall, or waves in the ocean. Gently, very gently, move the mind beyond awareness into stillness. This is the clear light nature of the mind. This is who you really are. Consciousness observing without being affected. The mirror reflects everything in it, yet it doesn't affect the mirror. Reversing the process, let's come back into being aware of our senses. Move the mind very gently. And as always, if any thought comes, release it in one of the three ways. Become aware that you're breathing. Become aware of the breath. Pay a little more attention to the breath. And come back to the body. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Open and close the fingers and toes. Roll the wrists and ankles. And then we can rub our hands together. And bring this energy up to our face. And feel the warmth. I'm not even touching my face. You can just bring your hands up. over your forehead and back down around your ears and back to the front. This is called cat washing face. Then dedicate your meditation to equanimity. May all beings have happiness. May all beings stop suffering. May all beings, once they find a good thing, never be separated from goodness. And may all beings free themselves of biases, attachments, and aversions. And preferences to help some people and hurt others. Or help some beings and hurt others. Okay, thank you. That was the whole thing. Now that will be probably on YouTube. I think Twitch saves it on YouTube. And so from next week on, we will be focusing on a specific skill from meditation.
Okay.
Like I will explain, you know, when we went through awareness and we went beyond awareness,
Mm-hmm.
like I will explain like better how, like what that is, because that is not an easy concept to imagine yourself like a mirror that reflects another mirror, like that feeling of neutrality is not only healthy, but it really is who you are. That goes from lifetime to lifetime. That is who you are. This body will die, but that will not. And part of the benefit of meditation is to try to access that during the death process, so that you can remain kind of conscious throughout that, and reincarnate like intentionally, not just according to your past karma necessarily, not just like more randomly, is to try to get into a good place.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm gonna stay with my Twitch people, but I'll let you go.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.